Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So as you guys could tell by the title of this video is going to be about what vibes do you give off, okay? So my pile number one, you'll be the green aventurine crystal. Pile number two, you are the amethyst crystal. And pile number three, you are the yellow jade crystal. Okay. So pile number one, green aventurine. Pile number two, amethyst. And pile number three, yellow jade. Okay. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the crystal that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi pile one, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number one, you picked the green aventurine, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pile or previous readings, okay? So my pile number one, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pile number one? What vibes do you give off? Okay, so pile number one, we have for you warrior. Light attributes, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. So you definitely give off the vibe of a warrior. I'm getting like a Scorpio energy. Okay, powerful energy. You definitely give off the vibe that you have inner strength, that you are disciplined, and that you have strong will. Okay, so you give off the vibe that you are extremely tough. I'm also getting like the vibe that you give, like it's like people shouldn't mess with you. You're not the one to be messed with. That's what I'm getting here. What vibes do you give off? We have the Queen of Pentacles. You give off the vibe that you are emotionally grounded, physically grounded, that you are stable. Yeah, Queen of Swords, like you're not the one to be messed with, that you are extremely intelligent, that you could be cutthroat in your approach, but definitely that you are grounded, that you're self-sufficient with the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm getting like for the women here, you definitely give off the vibe of Miss Independent, that you have your own money, you have your own car, your own home, you do your own thing. You don't need a man in your life, but like you would want a man. It's not like you don't care about a man or you don't care about relationship, but having a man in your life does not define you. That's the vibe that you give off, like the vibe of Miss Independent. And for the men here, you give off the vibe as Mr. like, I don't know why I heard hot shot, like you call the shots. You're definitely grounded because we have the Queen of Pentacles. So you are financially stable. You have financial stability. You are extremely grounded as a man. So you're not easily swayed by women or their beauty. So you're not like, it's not easy to, I don't know why I just heard catfish you. Oh my God. This is what I'm getting here. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pile number one? What vibes? Yeah, you see King of Swords, Queen of Swords, intellectual, that you may have graduated from university or college, or that you have like a master's degree or PhD. I'm getting that's the vibe that you give off. Like this is what people get from you. We have the High Priestess, that you're highly intuitive, that there's an air of mystery to you. The vibe that you give off is like you're mysterious. There's more to you that meets the eyes. Yeah, you give off the vibe that you are extremely talented, that you're dedicated. With the 8 of Pentacles, that you are highly skilled and disciplined, and we have discipline on the Warrior card. So definitely you also give off the vibe that you are a perfectionist, just in your approach, the way that you do certain things, the way that you speak, your mannerism as well, give off the vibe that you are a perfectionist. Okay, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? Ooh, we have the King of Wands. Okay, so definitely you give off the vibe that you are extremely courageous with the King of Wands, but also you have a healthy amount of self-love and you're confident in yourself. Okay, like you have the ability to conquer the world. That's the vibe that you give off. But you also give off the vibe that you are ambitious with the 5 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands could also represent competition. So I feel like there's some people that may see you as competition. You don't give off the vibe that you are competition. I'm getting like people just see you as such. Okay, that's the vibe that they get from you, that definitely if they were to compete with somebody, it would be you. So what vibes do you give off? My pal number 1, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 1? What vibes do you give off? Just one card, please. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 1? Ooh, we have the Page of Pentacles, that you are meticulous. That you give off the vibe that you're cautious as well with the Page of Pentacles, that you keep people at arm's length, like you don't really, like you have a reserved nature to you with the Page of Pentacles. Definitely you give off the vibe that you're trustworthy, but it's just that you're closed off, like you're extremely observant. You like to pay attention to details, or like you pay attention to what people say and don't say, and that's the vibe that you give off, that you are like not investigator, investigator. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's not the word I was looking for. Detective. That's the actual word I was looking for. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see we have the Queen and the King of Pentacles. Definitely you give off the vibe that you have a good balance of feminine and masculine energy. But you also gave off the vibe of a boss with the King of Pentacles, somebody who has their own business, or you have your own side hustle if you work a regular 9 to 5. Especially the people at your work, people at your job, they could tell that you have like, you give off the vibe that you have an exciting social life outside of work, or like a very lively social life, that you may have a lot of friends, that you give off the vibe that you are extremely popular or well liked in your community. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see we have the Knight of Wands, that you are adventurous. Okay, you always have fun on your weekend, or you're just always on some sort of adventure with your friends. It's like it's never a dull moment with you. This is the vibe that you give off. But because you're closed off with the Page of Pentacles, not closed off, but you're reserved with certain people, you don't allow everybody in your personal space or access to you. But that's definitely the vibe that you give off. Okay, like you also give off the vibe that you are into extreme sports. So maybe like you've probably been parachuting before, bungee jumping. That's what I'm getting here. But it's definitely an air of mystery. That's the vibe that you give off. Okay, with the Moon card, like I said, there's more to you than meets the eyes, but because of your reserved nature, people could just only speculate, they could only guess. Okay, so what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 1? Yeah, that you live a life of luxury with the 9 of Pentacles, that you are abundant, self-sufficient. That you give off the vibe that you're single, though, with the 9 of Pentacles. Single, but you're not ready to mingle. Like you prefer to be alone. Like I said, you only have like maybe close friends or close acquaintances that you keep other people at arm's length. But I'm getting like with the Nine of Pentacles, definitely the vibe is that you live a life of luxury, that you have expensive taste. That's the vibe that you give off. Like your taste is exquisite. You like to dine at the 5-star restaurant. That's the vibe that you give off. I'm also getting like, I don't know why I'm getting like you may have like a pinky ring for some of you. I don't know why I got that with the Nine of Pentacles. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal? Yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. That you have a healthy amount of self-esteem, but also with the Ace of Cups that you get a lot of love. That's why I'm getting like in your community or your close friends. That's the vibe that you give off, that you are in a sense well-known, but still an introvert, like a well-known introvert. Okay, this is the vibe that you give off. You give off the vibe that you have a lot of integrity with the Justice card. You could be a Libra. You're well balanced. You're fair in your dealing. Like you could be a little bit stern. That's the vibe that you give off, because we have the Queen and the King of Swords. So there's like a stern energy to you, that, you know, warrior energy where you don't take no BS. However, you still deal with people with fairness, okay? You're definitely just in your dealings. You have a lot of integrity. That's the vibe that you give off. You're definitely trustworthy, okay? People feel like they could trust you, even though they know that they have to get in line when they talk to you. They have to provide, like, you know, they have to talk to you with respect. But they definitely know that you will also bestow that respect onto them. Like, you're not going to be disrespectful to people just because you are in a prestigious position or you have a lot going on for yourself. You still treat people with respect. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? People don't feel like they're not scared of you. They're not intimidated by you, but they know that they have to respect you. But the respect is given back, so they know that. That's the vibe that you give off. Yeah, we have the Seven of Wands. You definitely give off the vibe that you are guarded. That's the the Page of Pentacles. That's the vibe I was getting too. But the Seven of Wands is like a guarded energy. Have your guards up, or you're definitely protected. That's the vibe that you give off, that it's not easy to step to you, or if somebody steps to you and try to challenge you, you're definitely going to defend yourself like a warrior. You're going to defend yourself. You're not afraid of intimidation. You're not afraid of conflict, but you don't look for it. And that's the vibe that you give off. So people know that if they're going to step to you, they better be ready, because you're ready for war as well, because you are definitely a warrior. So you're not scared of confrontation. That's what I'm getting here. That's the vibe that you give off. So that's why some people, like, they tread lightly when it comes to you. We have the Sun card, Leo energy. So you definitely give off the vibe that, like I said, you have like an active social life with the Sun. You know, you could be in the spotlight. Like I said, some people at your job, they feel like you could be, you know, an influencer, a YouTuber. So they definitely have that vibe that there's more to you than meets the eyes. Like that, you know, 9 to 5 that you're doing right now is just to finance your dreams. It's not really who you are outside of work. Outside of work, it's like as if you are a totally different person. This is the vibe that you give off, that on your personal days, on your personal life, like, things are popping for you. This is the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pal? Yeah, I just saw the star at the bottom of the deck. That's what I'm telling you, that you're popular, you're popping, okay, with the star. You definitely have this healing vibe. So, like, people feel comfortable talking to you about their problems. I feel like some people just come up to you and ask you for advice, because you do have, even though you have that warrior type of energy, but you still have, like, there's another side to you, that feminine side, that is still receptive, that is still soft, that is still healing, that people get from you. That's why they're not intimidated by you. They just know that they have to respect you. No matter what, they have to, even if they like you or don't like you, they know that they have to respect you, or else you're gonna put them in their place with the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. And I'm getting, like, you know, gracefully. You're not going to be disrespectful or vulgar about it, but you're definitely going to put these people in their place if they step to you sideways. This is the vibe that you give off, okay? What vibes do you give off, my pal, number 1? What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see, we have 11th house. This is Aquarius energy, community. You definitely have a sense of community. This is the vibe that you give off, or that you are well known in your community, or you are a pillar in your community with the 11th house. That's the vibe that you give off. Like, yeah, we have conjunction, alliance, like you are well connected. You have a large network of people, but you're just humble about it. Like, you don't really brag about like the people that you know. You may even like have celebrity friends or celebrity acquaintances, or you may have access to celebrities, because celebrities are just regular people that are popular. So it's like you have access to that. This is what I'm getting here, but you do not brag about it, or you don't even tell people that you know certain people. Okay, you keep it on the low, but that's the vibe that you give off, that you're well connected. What vibes do you give off, my pal number one? Yeah, we have a Saturn structure. It goes hand in hand with the warrior, disciplined. You have a structured schedule. That's the vibe that you give off, that you do things in a methodical manner with the Saturn energy, that you have extreme discipline, that you are goal oriented. That's the vibe that you give off. Like, you know where you're going in life, you know what you're trying to accomplish, and you're not going to stop until you get it. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to try to deviate you from your plan, because you are definitely focused. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. And also the fact that you are guarded and you keep people at arm's length, it's kind of hard for you to be influenced by the actions or the behaviors of others. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. Extremely disciplined, structured. Okay, like definitely like a warrior, exactly like the first card says. Okay, that's the vibe, the overall vibe that you give off. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi, pal two. Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot, back at you again with another video. So my pal number two, you picked the amethyst crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous file or previous readings, okay? So my pal number two, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal number two? What vibes do you give off? What do we have here? We have visionary, light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regards for personal gain. So you definitely give off a vibe that you are ahead of your time with the visionary card, okay? It could be like your sense of fashion, or the idea that you come forth with, maybe like at work, or just maybe online with how you present your idea or how you execute certain plans. You give off the vibe that you are definitely ahead of your time. So like I'm getting Aquarius vibes with the visionary card, okay? Aquarius or Aries, that's the vibe, but I'm getting mostly Aquarius, okay? So what vibes do you give off? We have the Queen of Pentacles. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, we have the Fool that flew out. You definitely walk to the beat of your own drums. You definitely give off the vibe that you are grounded, that you're very nurturing with the Queen of Pentacles, that you're self-sufficient. Yeah, you give off the vibe that you are extremely loving, like a humanitarian vibe. That's why I was getting like Aquarius energy. But with the Ace of Cups, the Fool, and the Queen of Pentacles, you have this unique energy to you, a unique signature to you, okay? So it's definitely felt when you walk in the room, but you definitely give off the vibe that you are loving, that you are nurturing, that you have a healthy amount of self-esteem, self-love. That I just heard One Love by Bob Marley, and Bob Marley was an Aquarius. So what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal? Okay, we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is like the student, the internal student, the student that is always requesting, has a quest for knowledge, thirst for knowledge with the Page of Swords. You definitely give off the vibe that you are extremely intelligent, that you are inquisitive. I'm also getting with the Page of Swords that you are observant. You're a fast learner. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 2? What vibes do you give off? What do we have here? We have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, extremely nurturing, very caring. And what I'm getting with the Queen of Cups is like you give off the vibe that you are highly intuitive. With the Queen of Cups, extremely passionate. You also give off the vibe that you are self-sacrificing at times, because you always tend to put people's needs before yours at times. Okay, yeah, you definitely give off the vibe that you are extremely patient with the Seven of Pentacles. Also, you give off the vibe that you are maybe celibate or a virgin with the Seven of Pentacles, or that you're waiting for the right person, or you haven't been like intimate with somebody in a long time. This is why I'm getting like celibacy with the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Three of Pentacles, a great team player with the Three of Pentacles. You also have an excellent reputation, or you provide a quality service. That's the vibe that you give off. Like everything that you do, you put your all into it. You are, I'm getting like some sort of perfectionist as well. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 2? What vibes do you give off? What do we have here? Wow, this is the visionary card. Three of Wands is a visionary. Somebody who likes to plan things ahead. Somebody who goes ahead with their like they put their plan in motion with the Three of Wands. Action oriented, definitely. You're goal oriented. That's the vibe that you give off. And you walk to the beat of your own drum, especially with the Fool being here. That's the vibe that you give off, that you are optimistic as well. Okay, you see things that other people miss. You believe in things that other people don't, and that's the vibe that you give off. Like you're just, like I said, ahead of your time. This is why I feel like pile number 2, sometimes people don't understand you. You feel out of place. Sometimes you feel like the oddball in the group, but I'm getting it's because like your mind is definitely ahead. You see things, you envision things that most people think is impossible, but because you believe in yourself, you believe in the vision that the universe has given you, so you know it's possible for you. And that's the reason why it was given to you, because of your faith, your unwavering faith. So what vibes do you give off? Yeah, you definitely give off the vibe that you are extremely courageous with the Strength card. I'm getting also influential. You definitely have influence on others more than you know. You may even have like a platform where you share your ideas, because I feel like you share your idea on a grander scale where other people get to agree with your idea or add to your idea, or like use your idea to better their life. But I'm getting like you definitely have some sort of like powerful influence on others, and that's definitely the vibe that you give off. Like you definitely influence the people in your immediate surroundings, whether you know it or not, but you definitely have that power. Okay, you're extremely strong. That's the vibe that you give off. You have a strength of character that's undeniable. Like when you walk in the room, their presence is definitely felt with that Leo energy. What vibes do you give off, my pal number 2? What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you give off a vibe that you are extremely generous, that you have a big heart with the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, like definitely like generosity, especially with these 2 cards coming together, because the Strength card is also another card of generosity. And this is like financial generosity, like giving back, but this is emotional generosity, like you have compassion for others. This is what I'm getting with the Strength card. And this one is more like financial generosity, where you give to charity and so on. You give to homeless shelters. That's the vibe that you give off. And you also give off the vibe that you've been through a lot of obstacles and challenges in your life with the Strength card, and you overcame them with breeze. That's the vibe that you give off. We have the Ace of Pentacles. You definitely give off the vibe with the Ace of Pentacles that you are financially stable, that you are abundant. Okay, that you are definitely good news. You are a great person to have around as well with the, you're like definitely stable, because it doesn't have to be financially stable. It could be emotionally stable with the Ace of Pentacles, okay? What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal? Number 2. Yeah, you definitely give off the vibe that you are structured and disciplined, and you're goal oriented. You know where you're going, especially with the 3 of Wands and the visionary. Like, you definitely know where you're going. This is that Cancer energy, but you still have that healing vibe to you. This is why people gravitate towards you. They like to confide in you. I feel like you have a lot of people that love your energy. They love your vibe. So you may like, that's why you have this influence. You could influence a lot of people on a grander scale. And I feel like some of you may not know that because you don't really pay attention to how your action influence other people, not how they affect it. I feel like you are conscious of how your action affect others, but you're not really, it's like you don't pay attention to how you influence other people to behave a certain way or to think a certain way or to act a certain way. But you have that power with the Strength card, the Strength card and the Chariot here. Some of you could be Cancer, Leo, Cus. Don't have to be. And I'm getting like some of you could be Taurus and Cancer. No, sorry, not Taurus and Cancer. Yes, Taurus and Cancer, not Cus, but you could have that in your chart. I don't know why I said that, but I was called to say that. So what vibes do you give off, my pal number 2? What vibes do you give off? Ooh, we have the Ace of Wands. You give this vibe of sensuality with the Ace of Wands. Like alluring vibe, but you also creative, okay, with the Ace of Wands. That's the vibe that you give off. But sensuality, there's a lot of people that gravitate towards you, that love. Like, you may have a lot of suitors as well, but I feel like some of you are not. Like I said, with the 7 of Pentacles, you could be celibate or you could be virgin, or like you just haven't been in a committed relationship in a long time because you have been focusing on your visions, you have been focusing on your goals. But you have a lot of people that are still gravitating towards you because of that sensual, potent energy that you emanate. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. They definitely could tell that you haven't been with someone else in a long time, or that you're still a virgin, by your energy, your vibe that you emanate. It's like pure, it's potent, and it's powerful. It's very alluring as well. We have the Hermit. So the Hermit is Virgo energy. You definitely give off the vibe that you like to be alone. Like, you don't mind being around other people, but you prefer to be alone. Like 95% of the time, people could catch you by yourself. This is the vibe that you give off, that you are an introvert with the Hermit card. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off, that you're really focused on your business, you're focused on your soul's journey, your spiritual journey. You also give off the vibe that you are spiritual. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see Ace of Pentacles. There's a lot of financial stability around you. That's the vibe that you give off, that you're just more focused on your finances, you're more focused on your dream than you are focused on a relationship. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, we have Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Calm, cool, and wow, I can't even speak. Calm, cool, and collected vibe. That's what you give off. That you're laid back, that you're chill. You don't really let things get to you, and you're wise beyond your years. That's the vibe that you give off. I feel like it's really the vision that you have, the ideas, how you express your ideas into words. Some of you could be poets here, so you write poetry. This is how you express your vision, through your poetry. Some of you, it could be through your music. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off, like a poet, like a teacher. Okay, wise man, a wise counselor. What vibes do you give off? 9 of Pentacles, that you live a life of luxury. Okay, that you are, yeah, this is the eligible bachelor, eligible bachelorette, the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, that you are successful with the 6 of Wands, that you are abundant. but you just may not talk about it. You could be humble. That's the vibe that you give off, like you're extremely humble, because we have the Hermit card here. So that's humble energy. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you have this you give off an air of luxury with the 9 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. Like you're extremely abundant because we have the Ace of Pentacles twice. But with the Hermit energy, you don't floss, like you don't flaunt your blessings or your abundance, because it's like you understand how hard it was for you to get there. So there's no need to floss. There's no need to show off, because like I'm getting like you don't want to attract envy and evil eye to you. And this is the reason why you remain humble and like, you know, grounded about the blessings that you have. Okay, you don't let it get to your head, because you know that it could be easily taken from you. So that's the vibe that you give off, like a humble vibe, grounded energy. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal? Wow, we have Sagittarius. Expand. I'm getting like you give off the vibe that you like to travel alone with the Sagittarius energy. Could definitely be a Sagittarius because we have Temperance here. Yeah, you give off the vibe that you like to travel on your own. Like you like to be alone. That's like the main thing I'm getting here. You focus on your vision, you focus on your goal, but you spend you're like to be solo dolo. That's the vibe that you give off. We have Taurus energy, and I did call out Taurus. It says cultivate. You give off the vibe that you prefer quality over quantity. That's the vibe that you give off. This is the reason why you like to be by yourself. You don't like to be in the mix too much. That's the vibe that you give off, especially with the Taurus and Sagittarius energy. You keep to yourself. Like you may know a lot of people, you may know like a bunch of people, but you do not like to be in the mix. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pal? Number 2, what vibes do you give off? We have Mercury messages. This is like the Magician energy, and we do have Virgo energy here. So I'm getting like with the Mercury and the Virgo energy, healing, because it's like healing energy to me, this card. And we have messages. So I'm getting like with your visionary vibe, you come off as a messenger, like somebody who has a message from the universe. Like you are spiritual. That's the vibe that you give off. Like I said, you are ahead of your time. That's why people don't understand you. And because people don't understand you, you rather just stick to yourself, because you don't really like to explain yourself. If they don't get you, it's because they don't vibrate at the same frequency as you, and you don't want to waste your time. So you just like, you know, keep it simple, keep it sweet, but you keep it moving at the same time. That's the vibe that you give off. Like just keep to myself, you know, don't say too much, say what needs to be said, and that's it. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number 2. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 2. Bye. Hi pal 3, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot, back at you again with another video. So pal number 3, you picked the yellow jade, and this is going to be your reading. Okay, so if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings. Okay, so my pal number 3, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? What vibes do you give off? What do we have here for you, my pal number 3? We have networker, light attributes, enhance unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So I'm getting like you give off the vibe that you are well connected, that you have a lot of friends in higher places. Okay, what vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? I'm getting like star like energy. Wow, we have the 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment, that you get your wish, like you live a life of luxury, you get your wish fulfillment, that you are extremely lucky. Yeah, I'm getting like you're well connected. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes that you give off, my pal? Yeah, we have the Chariot, that you're always on the go, you're always moving. Your life is like, I just heard your life is like a movie. That's the vibe that you give off. It's like, I'm getting like the people that are watching you from the outside, that don't know you that much. That's the vibe that you give them, that you're always like, your life is like I said, like a movie. There's always something going on. You're always on the go. You're never at one place. The last place as they saw you were not there anymore. It's like you're always moving up. You're always like elevating. You're glowing up. You're leveling up every second of the day. This is the vibe that you give off. Like you're just so determined, so hungry for the success. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off? Wow, you see? We have the Queen of Wands, that you are confident in yourself with the Queen of Wands. You're definitely established. I'm getting like in your career or in your life. That's the vibe that you give off, that you have everything figured out or everything in order. We have the 3 of Cups, like you're always having fun. It's like always a good time with you with the 3 of Cups. Like you have, like I said, friends in higher places. With the 3 of Cups, that you are popular. That's the vibe that you give off as well, especially with a networker. You know the right people. You're like, I keep saying, like you're connected. That's the vibe, the main energy that you give off. We have the this is the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy. You're well balanced. Yeah, you have an air of mystery with the High Priestess. Like you give off the vibe that it's like when you look at people, the vibe that they get from you is like you know something about them that they don't want you to know. It's like you can see right through them, like an x-ray vision. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you're highly intuitive. You have knowledge of the occult. That's the vibe that you give off to people, that you are mysterious, mystique. What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal? Number 3. Yeah, you see we have Temperance. Sorry, not Temperance. This is the Hierophant. Temperance is already here. The Hierophant. So a Hierophant is definitely a guru, a master at his craft or her craft, but it's also somebody who's well connected. The Hierophant is somebody who's well connected, you know, in the government, in the police force, in every sector. Like business sector, this person's connected. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you know people at, like I said, in higher places. Okay, pile number 3, you just give off that. Even if you don't feel like you are well connected or you're not, this is the vibe that you give off, because maybe the way people gravitate towards you, people respect you because you earn the respect of others. The Hierophant is somebody who's highly respected. Taurus energy, somebody who follows the law, who follows the rules to the T, and who also this is also the vibe of a lobbyist, okay, with the Hierophant. So that's the vibe that you give off. You also give off the vibe that you work in the government. You're a government official, okay? You don't have to be a government official, guys. It's just the vibe that you give off, okay? This is what people assume of you when they meet you, when they are in your presence, okay? What vibes do you give off? Yeah, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy again, because Knight of Pentacles is Taurus and the Hierophant is Taurus energy. So with the Knight of Pentacles, you give off the vibe that you are extremely cautious, but that you are precise in your approach. You are meticulous, you are extremely observant, but you also give off the vibe that you have a sense of loyalty, a sense of duty. This is why the Hierophant is there, and it makes sense. Like you definitely have that vibe to you, that you are loyal to your cause, you're loyal to what you believe in, and you have a lot of integrity. You do the right thing even if no one is looking, okay? That's the vibe that you give off, that you follow the rules. Like you're not the type of person that will break the rule for anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. That's the vibe that you give off. So if somebody is thinking about doing something illegal, they know that they will never ask you to, you know, tag along with them. They know that about you, like by the vibe that you give off. We have the Queen of Pentacles, grounded energy. What vibes? We have the King of Cups. Okay, you definitely have a good balance of feminine and masculine energy, but you're highly intuitive and you're grounded, self-sufficient vibes. You give off the vibe that you are a parent with the Queen of Pentacles, or that you're very nurturing, very caring. Okay, you're compassionate as well. That's the vibe that you give off, especially with the King of Cups as well. What vibes that you... Emotional maturity too. You give off the vibe that you are a well-rounded individual. Okay, that you have your head on your shoulders. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pal? Number 3. What vibes do you give off? Okay, we have Judgment. You give off the vibe. Some people get a vibe from you that you could be judgmental with the Judgment card, but I'm also getting on the flip side that you are a great judge of character. So some people, they may feel like you're judging them too harshly. I feel like it's because you could see right through their BS. And other people feel like you are spot on with your observation, your sense of observation, and how you judge somebody's character with the Judgment card. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. But some people, like I said, they feel like you're judgmental. Okay. What vibes do you give off, my pal? Number 3. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, that you are reserved with the 4 of Pentacles, that you are grounded. Yeah, you definitely give off a reserved energy with the 4 of Pentacles. Your stability. Like you like to be stable. You don't like chaos. That's the vibe that you give off. And you like to do things in a methodical manner, like a specific manner. You're meticulous in your approach. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off, my pal? Number 3. Generosity with the 6 of Pentacles. You give off a vibe of a generous spirit, a generous heart. Like you give out to charity. What vibes? Wow, we have the Chariot again. So you definitely give off the vibe that you are extremely disciplined, that you're structured in your approach, that you're determined to get things done. Yeah, you have strong will. That's the vibe that you give off. Okay, like it's kind of hard to sway you off your path. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles. I got 9 of Pentacles for all 3 piles. Living a life of luxury or abundant and self-sufficient. That's the vibe that you give off. But you also give off the vibe that you have expensive taste with the 9 of Pentacles. You like higher end stuff, or you like to dine at finer restaurants or 5-star restaurants. Like you have expensive, like everything about you is expensive quality. You have quality taste. And I'm also getting like you're able to afford it. So you're not the, like, I'm not getting gold digger vibe from pile number 3 or any of the piles. It's really like you're able to afford this lifestyle that you dream of, or that the lifestyle that you love. Okay, like I'm getting like with the 9 of Pentacles is definitely self-sufficient vibe that you give off. Like you're able to afford the stuff that you want. It's like you're not going to ask somebody to cater to your needs. You're definitely going to be able to do it on your own because you are determined. Yeah, we have the 9 of Cups again. Self-sufficient, and we have wish fulfillment. That's the vibe that you give off. I'm also getting like you give off the vibe that you have people eating at the palm of your hand. With the 9 of Cups coming out twice. That's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, you see Ace of Pentacles. I did call it out. You are abundant here. You are self-sufficient. The Ace of Pentacles is somebody who is self-sufficient, somebody who is financially abundant. This is also a financial windfall, but when it comes to your vibe, you give off the vibe that you are good. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is another card of self-sufficiency and also abundance, okay? Stability. And that's like the vibe that you give off. And it's because of like, I'm getting like, You give off the vibe that because you are well connected, so it's easy for you, like these things are accessible to you. So getting a much better high paying job, or you know, a much better location where to live, okay, like a rental application to get things happening for you or faster for you. You are well connected, and because of that, it helps you live a much better quality of life. That's the vibe that you give off, okay? Like you live an extremely beautiful quality of life. Like you give off the vibe that you live in a beautiful condo or a beautiful house, that you drive a beautiful, you know, fancy car, luxurious car like a Mercedes or a BMW. That's the vibe that you give off. Or that you are in a prestigious position. What vibes, or that you're self-employed, okay? What vibes do you give off? Yeah, I see Saturn, structured. This is like giving me, this is Capricorn energy, but I'm also getting like with the Chariot being there, it makes sense because the Chariot is also disciplined energy, structured energy, okay? Having strong will, determination to get things done. What vibes do you give off? You give off the vibe that you have a strict schedule as well. That every minute of your day is counted towards something. Like you don't waste time, you don't you're not idle with your time. That's the vibe that you give off. That you're always on the go, you're always doing something, putting your time into motion. You're never sitting still. Like you don't take breaks. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you're always on go 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 mode. Okay, what vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? What vibes do you give off? What vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? Just one card, Spirit. Just one card. Just one card. Okay, so you know where you're going. North Node, future. You're future oriented, you're gold oriented, and it makes sense with the Chariot. You may have Cancer as a North Node or Capricorn. I'm getting pile number 3. Don't have to be, but that's just the vibe that you give off. Like you're just so focused on your future, your goals, and your dreams. You don't have time for nonsense. You don't have time for idle chit chat or things that are not going to further your growth. Okay, this is the vibe that you give off. Like you're strictly business oriented. Okay, that's the vibe. This is why we have the networker. So you're just like, if it doesn't make money for you, it doesn't make sense. Okay, that's the vibe that you give off. What vibes do you give off? Just one card, Spirit. What vibes do you give off? Yeah, we have Sagittarius, expand. So pile number 3, if you're called to watch another pile, if you're called to, or you were attracted to another pile, I'm getting there's another message for you there. Only if you are called to do this, okay? So we have Sagittarius, expand. Yeah, you give off the vibe that you are always on the go. That's the vibe I'm getting here too. That you're always expanding, you're always exploring, you're always improving. You're never settling for less, okay? You're like, however, like if somebody meets you today and they see you again in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you are on you're on a different level. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you're never at the same level that people last saw you. So what vibes do you give off, my pal number 3? Oh, that you're well balanced with the Libra energy. Okay, that you're definitely balanced. You have a lot of integrity. That's the vibe that you give off with the Libra. And you're also, I'm getting like, you're very charming. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you could definitely have like an important conversation and stimulating conversation, but you're not going to waste your time talking about nonsense. That's the vibe that you give off. Like you're definitely charming, you know, you're polite in your dealings, but you're going to let somebody know in a nice way that you don't really have time for this type of chit chat. Like if it's not about like getting things done, working on goals, working on dreams, you don't really want to engage in those type of conversation. And you have this diplomatic way of doing it. That's the vibe that you give off. So I feel like you have done that to other people and they got it, that you're not about that life. You're not about the nonsense chit chat. You're about your business. You're about your money. Okay. So that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye.